And the good news story of the summer, I reckon, has been Josh Reynolds coming back to the club.
Yeah, I actually told that story at the season launch last night. I got a text message from Josh mid last year, just to say that he told his club that he was finished playing, his playing days were over, and that he was coming back to Sydney, and that he'd missed being at the Bulldogs, and probably he shouldn't have left when he did at the time that he did, and it wasn't about money or anything. He just wanted to come back and help at the club. He was prepared to work in the community section. He was prepared to work in sponsorship. He was prepared to work in marketing. He was prepared to work in junior pathways. Whatever we could do for him, do you think there might be an opportunity to come and have a talk about returning to the Bulldogs? To which I said, yeah, of course, mate. As soon as you get back to Australia, let me know. And he sent me a couple of texts to say, is it all right to come and see? I said, yeah. There was never any talk about him playing at that time. None. None. And I was actually even approached by people in the media saying, oh, there's a rumour he's coming back to play. I said, no, he's not. That's not what he said to me. I said, he's coming back to do this. Now, whether Josh had those intentions, I don't know. He never said anything to me. When he got back to Australia, I met with he and his manager just around what the future might look like. And he said, I'll even train with the club. He said, I'll train with the team. He said, you've got a young squad there, and Josh Jackson had just retired, so our captain had retired. He said, if you want some leadership at training, I'll show him how to be a Bulldog. I'll get in there and train. And
he's played you beautifully,
and
Josh Reynolds.
And do the whole thing here. So he's recruited me. I haven't recruited him. So I said, oh yeah. I said, well, it's just pretty hard work.
Yeah, even if you want me to play the odd game, I'm available too.
He said, I'll come back and train with him and do this. And I said, all right. I said, you really want to put yourself? Yeah, no, that'll be good. And he said, no, because I want to be part of the football party. I'll do the community part and all that sort of stuff too. But I'll train with the group. Even the young blokes, I'll go and train with the young. I said, yeah, mate, whatever you want to do. I said, yeah, right. So, and then he said, well,
you need a 5'8".
His manager said, well, what about a trial? I said, what about a trial? He said, what if he trains and trials? Because they have these train and trial contracts now. I said, well, yeah. I said, well, you can trial if you likes. And they said, oh, yeah, well, we'll do a train and trial, and then we'll work out what we're going to do after that. I said, good as gold. So in he's come. He's trained. He's trained the house down. He's 33 going on 34. He's really had to, bust his backside to compete and get in there. But he has. He's been very competitive and he's been very vocal, and the players all love him having him around. So then we're coming into the trials, and they have this session out on Belmore Oval that I'm sitting there watching, and Matt Burton had the session off. He just had a little twinge in his quadricep muscle, and so Josh Reynolds went in and played at 5'8" in the scrimmage at training, and he played really well, and like one of the issues with the Bulldogs this year is going to be experience depth and leadership, and they're the things that we've really got to work on for on field and dealing with the pressure. But Josh Reynolds has been around for such a long time, and he had no problem getting out there and telling people what to do and where to go and how to do it, and he's sort of running the show and everything like that. And the players sort of, wow, how long's this been going? Who is this bloke? It's kind of like, and so the session went so well. And then Cameron Ciraldo came over to me at the end of the session. He said, what do you think? I said, oh, it was good, mate. He said, yeah. He said, I think we need Josh Reynolds in the top 30. Oh, yeah, why is that? And he said, oh, just his leadership and everything, just his leadership and his direction, he was really good, and the players really liked being with him and all that sort of thing. And I said, and Josh Reynolds was sitting in a circle of players. I was just discussing the session about 30 metres away. So I said, Josh, come here. He said, what are you doing? I said, well, I don't want you to change your mind. I said, call him over. So I called him over. I said, Josh has come over. I said, Coach wants to talk to you. And Cameron looked at me and froze. He said, oh, you tell him. I said, head coach wants you in the top 30, mate. Get your manager to give me a call on Monday. And I shook his hand, and he just stood there and cried.
Did he really?
He just
Oh, wow.
He gave Cameron a big hug, and I sort of left him at that. And Cameron came and saw me later. He said, we got a spot in the top 30. I said, no, I'll have to organise that. But it was sort of all done on the spur of the moment. So
yeah, that's a good yarn.
Yeah, and he thoroughly deserved it, the way he's trained. And his leadership around the boys, and even in a lot of that connectivity stuff. We talked about Anthony Seibold and Manly. All the clubs go through the same thing. And
he's a quality bloke, Josh Reynolds, isn't he?
He is, and he played in the first trial down there against Canberra, which was probably a low tier trial. Both sides played a lot of their their second tier talent and backup talent. And then on the weekend, he came on in the last 20 minutes and scored a try. And the Belmore people love having him around. They love having him around Belmore just during the week. He's obviously a huge personality and a favoured son of the whole club, and it's a great story for him.